Alright, so story time about why I'm not driving currently and won't be for a little while is because I got this little bad boy in the mail. Looks like I got a delivery, so I'll catch you up in just a second. But yeah, I'll just continue for me. Let me get this delivery. Hold on a quick second. YouTube, welcome back to another video. Long time no see. It's Keith the Trucker back with another video. And yeah, I'm no longer driving at the current moment. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Couple story times. I catch you up on everything that's been going on up until this point that led me to not being able to drive or not driving or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I guess let's get it. So I've been with Truck Movers or Victory Driverway for about 9 months. I think I started October of last year. So far, like, it's been fun. It's been a different experience outside of normal truck driving. Really liked it and stuff like that. So far, like, it's a lot of like logistics and stuff involved. It's a lot of planning involved. Like, I'm always got to be ahead of the game, meaning if I pick a load, I already got to be thinking, hey, can I Uber out of this spot? Do I need to catch a train? Do I need to fly to the next location? You always got to be thinking a step ahead, because some of the places that you go, you will get to where it dries up. So when it dries up, you might not be able to find a way out of there. That happened recently, but I managed to pay the taxi cab from a couple towns over. I managed to pay them extra to come and grab me and then take me to where I needed to be, which was Enterprise Rental Car. So majority of the time, I'll usually hop in a rental car, and for me, it's faster to get to the next load. Hop in a rental car, I'll drive myself to the next load, no big thing. So now, before that, like, when I first started and I didn't really know, like, the ins and outs of it all, I usually was on a Greyhound, but the Greyhound was taking so much time away from where I could have been running. So eventually, I met up with a couple co-workers along the way. We exchanged information and everything like that, and basically they put me on to another way of doing things, and that's how I found out about the rental car situation. And with the rental car, basically, like I said, it speeds up the process to where I might have been running one load and then waiting while I'm on the Greyhound. Now I just run that load, and I'm already hopping in the rental car, heading to the next location, grabbing that load, and I'm gone. So it really speeds up the process as far as getting to and from and different things that I needed to do. So yeah, the rental car is my way. Now, I do know some people who catch flights, whether it be frequent flyer miles or whatever the case may be, they book flights. I don't personally book flights because I don't want to be stuck at the airport all day. So occasionally, yeah, you might catch me on a plane depending on what I'm doing, but a lot of times the rental car is my go-to. We get a flat rate for it because, we get the little, it's like a corporate rate, so it's just flat rate. I already know on average about how much it'll be each time I need a rental car, so I've already got it all figured out and everything. So normally I go ahead and I call ahead of time. I get the rental sorted out, make sure I'm able to get one. If I'm not able to get one, then a lot of times I'll see what's the nearest next location that actually has the car. And a lot of times either I'll Uber there or I will hop on the Greyhound and go to the next town over, and then and go from there. So that has happened before, and just as long as it keeps me moving to where I can hop in the rental car and I'm gone, then that's what I was doing. So as far as the money is concerned, like, well, we can get into the money. So the money is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So On average, each week is different. It varies based off of my expenses and stuff like that. But uh, yeah, the money was pretty decent. Like, I'm not gonna throw a number out there, but it was more than way more than like a company driver were making, stuff like that. So uh, we work 1099. So 1099, basically you cover all your expenses. You're covering your fuel. You're covering hotels. You're covering tolls. You're covering food. Now, as far as breakdowns, we'll get into breakdowns in a second, but uh, yeah, so even with deductions and everything, a lot of times I could easily clear. I want to say I could easily clear about 2K. That's probably on the low end, 2K a week. So let's just let's basically say that with expenses, I was clearing no less than, like, I'll just shoot it real low. I'll say no less than 1,800, but it's usually way more than that. That's after expenses and everything. Everything's said and done. Take home. So, but the freedom to do what you want and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that because they let you operate on your own. You're a contractor and everything. You know how to work, so they let you work. Minimum involvement from them unless you need them. So from that aspect, I really enjoy, like, the freedom to operate. I like operating on my own. I like. All right, so breakdowns. So the way breakdowns work with us is we're not responsible for the breakdowns unless we caused something. We did something neglectful or something like that. And if we did, we got this escrow account that we build up to 1,500. So let's say if I damage something on my end, it will come out of your escrow. So you would get charged up to the 1,500, maybe more depending on what the damage is. And so that'll come out of there to cover your deductible and everything. And then what's left over, they'll take from your check week by week until you reach that. And then on the back end of that, you got to rebuild that 1,500 up. So they'll continue to take money out your check to build your 1,500 back up to meet that 1,500 threshold. But it's not too bad. I've only had like one incident. That was in the beginning. I guess I got to the customer and realized that the side cargo door somehow had got damaged. It wasn't like that when I went to sleep. I don't know what happened. I couldn't really explain it because I just don't know. So yeah, I ended up paying the deductible for that. But other than that, I've had no issues with it since then. So yeah, so breakdowns, like I said, it don't really come out of our pocket, but it does. At the same time, you're responsible for the damage. You're the contractor. You're responsible for it. So what I like to do, I got into a habit of taking pictures before and after. I take pictures before I actually take off in the load, and then I take pictures after I drop the load at a customer. I do a 360. I take a picture of each side. I take a picture of the inside. If I notice anything, then I go ahead and I'll document it, and I'll take pictures of that too. For instance, because a lot of this stuff is assembled in factories and stuff. So when you get it, like, the lights might be hanging off in the inside or not properly secured. The seats might not be all the way bolted down and stuff like that. You gotta annotate stuff like that, because if you don't, then it'll come back on you, the contractor. Oh, you didn't check the truck, you didn't check the bus, you didn't check whatever it is that you're driving, and so basically at that point, if you didn't check it or you didn't write it down or nothing like that, it now falls on you, because you can't go back and blame it on the facility that you picked it up. Oh, it wasn't tightened down or whatever the case. So it'll fall on you. So I learned the hard way to just go ahead and take the pictures. It's better to have the pictures as reference on your phone or wherever. Take the pictures before and after so you can compare. You got something to back you up in the event that you get to the customer and the customer says, "Hey, you damaged this." You could look at your pictures and compare and say, "No, this damage was already there. Let me call, such and such or whatever." So yeah, so breakdowns, a lot of times it'll be covered through the whoever manufactured the vehicle. So whether it be Bluebird, Altec, uh, Freightliner, whoever, International, whoever manufactured that vehicle, a lot of times you'll reach out to them and let them know what issues. Because I remember at one point there was a common issue of the windshield wipers not working on the International truck. So a lot of that stuff got sent back to the factory to get the kinks worked out and everything before we were able to take off in them again. But all in all, like, we do stay running for the most part. I will say that, but we do book our own loads. We're on the load board. We're not required to run no more than we want to. The only requirement really is that you run one load at least every 30 days. So other than that, like, it's pretty laid back. It's pretty chill. Like, you get your as many loads as you're able to turn, or you can do as little loads as you're able to turn. I know some that only do maybe a couple loads and they're okay with that. And then I know some who they'll run. It just all depends on you as a person. But I like the fact that we can run if we want to run, and if we don't, if we got something to do, then hey, don't book a load. But yeah, so I did like that aspect of it. So I guess story time now about what exactly is going on at this present moment. Cause I like to go ahead and just keep it real about everything that's going on and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get you caught up to speed with this. I'll do a little quick story time and catch you up on the whole situation of why I'm sitting where I'm sitting and different things like that. Why I'm not driving at the moment, or what actually happened, what's transpired since then. So since the last time I drove, which was like a few days ago, which was probably, I want to say, end of June. Yeah, probably about the end of June. It's the beginning of July now, so it's about the end of June, maybe like probably about a week ago or something. So it was a package from UPS just now. But yeah, so back to story time. So I got this little bad boy in the mail a few days ago. It's basically like a letter from the DDS, which is basically the DMV. So I'll just kind of briefly go through it and kind of I'll explain everything once I'm done kind of reading it to you. So it basically says that you are hereby officially notified that you are disqualified from operating a commercial vehicle or applying for a commercial driver's license in the state of Georgia pursuant to blah, blah, blah. Based off of as a result of your conviction of 2 or more serious violations within the 3-year period. So it's just basically saying that my CDL privileges were suspended for the next 60 days or so. So basically, they took my CDL for right now. I thought it was permanent, but after I read the letter clarifies that it's for 60 days starting off, and it'll go from there. If other things happen, it'll go to like 120 days or however many days it needs to go to. So as far as the serious violations, they didn't happen in a commercial, where one of them did happen in a commercial vehicle and the other one happened in my personal vehicle. So the first one, the one that happened in a commercial vehicle, was when I was a company driver. I had came through a town where speed limit dropped like real fast, and I was on cruise control, which is usually the safe thing to do, be on cruise control. But as I came in, the speed limit dropped real fast, and as I noticed it and I go to hit the brakes, there was a huddle house to my left in a big parking lot with a truck stop attached to it. And as I'm going down the road, out of nowhere comes a unmarked police out of that parking lot, and he pulled me over, for speeding or whatever. So I got hit with that initial speeding ticket. Okay, everything was smooth then. This happened in 2024. Everything was smooth. I was still driving and everything. Everything was fine. So fast forward to February of 2025. I was on my way to the driver job, and I was running a little bit behind, and so I was in a bit of a rush, so I might have been going a little faster than I should, but yeah. So as I'm coming over a hill, uh, the state patrol was sitting in the dark or whatever, and all I see is blue lights everywhere. So yeah, I got hit with another speeding ticket. Now this particular speeding ticket is really what did it, because I was doing like, I think he clocked me at like 85 and a 65 or something like that. So so I got hit with the second speeding ticket. So I guess it's considered serious violations or whatever. So uh, like I said, so I got this little paper in the mail, and when I looked on the DDS website at my license, it shows that my regular license is good, but my CDL has been withdrawn. So obviously, I let the job know, I wasn't gonna drive with no CDL. Not that they would want me to or nothing like that, but obviously, it's a domino effect. So based off of me losing my CDL, I obviously had to resign from the position, the contractor and stuff like that. So I'm no longer doing the driveway right now. I'm no longer driving a semi or anything right now. I basically gotta work my way back up when I come back in the game and decide if I'm gonna run my truck again, or what I'm gonna do, what companies will still be interested in me and everything like that, or if I even want to drive anymore. So yeah, at this current moment, I'm basically just kind of playing everything by ear. I'm gonna find some odd things to do while I'm waiting these 60 days out. I'm gonna put more into my content and stuff. I got a couple parts I need to go put on the Freightliner. Uh, I actually sold the Kenworth, but I mean I can get into that another time. It was gonna cost me too much to operate it, and I made no money off of it. So I didn't want to put that money into it before I even know if I can make money off of it. So I went ahead and sold it. Uh, but I kept my Freightliner, the first truck. I kept it. I got a new radiator put in it and everything. So now I just been working out little small kinks on that one. I got a part over there where I gotta put one of the airlines is leaking, so I gotta put the little fitting on and stuff. Like just things that came from running like during COVID time and stuff like that. So I kind of just been working on it as I can or whatever. But when I get the free time and different things like that. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm dealing with at the moment. Won't be driving or anything like that. I can operate my personal car and delivery driver or something like that, but I can't operate a commercial vehicle because this little paper. So, but it really brings back to home. Like I was just wondering, like, what other skills do I got? Like I know I got other skills, but I've been driving for so long. It's kind of like your brain just like, what else do I know how to do? I got a couple things in the works. Like I got social media. I've been working on the beer Caroline and different things like that. So I got stuff going, but the trucking part, the travel part was what I enjoyed and everything like that. Being out there with each and every one of you. But yeah, it's just one of them things. I just gotta wait this out and see what happens. Luckily, it's only 60 days and it's not permanent or anything like that. And then I just gotta get back to being more focused on what I'm doing. Whether it be speeding or anything like that. So maybe this just kind of bring me back down a little, but so yeah. So look forward to more content coming. Just different things. I'm really all over the place at the moment, so it could be any type of content, not necessarily trucking content. It could be anything. I do the modeling on the side, so I got a lot of different things going on. But yeah, so basically, I just want to let you guys know that I'm no longer going to be trucking at the moment, so you probably won't see me out there. You might see me out there. I don't know. You never know. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, you want to see more, hey, you got to get me in the mindset of putting out more. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment if you want to know anything. If you need some help with something or whatever, hey, you need help with me pointing you in the right direction during your lease purchase or whatever, as you know, I've completed one of those. So just hit me up, let me know. I'll try and point you in the right direction, help you out as far as like how to maintain and how to balance your stuff out, so that way you're making money and not sitting there losing money. So yeah, but just stay tuned. We'll see what comes next.
Can't come to the trap, you making it hot. Don't fit the work and it's fresh off the pot. I've been having nerves, I sleep with a chop. I get off the work and I don't need a clock. I don't need the rib, you know it's the stock. She good on my nerves, I put her on block. If he shoot the size, then he turn to an op. The trap that he jumping, we making it hot.